Meantime, this raises an interesting issue and a conundrum. And I had to reach out to the best immigration lawyer that I know, Joseph Patrick Murphy. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Marty. Thanks for having me on.
Not to be critical of a fundraiser, but there is blowback regarding this fundraiser now that's now reached $130,000. Is there not, sir?
There is. This is a charitable, program, and the people that are supposed to be getting access to this money don't seem to be getting it. We do a lot of this kind of work, and inevitably some of these people were going to end up in my office. And I had a lady hire me just last week, spent a lot of money. Actually, it was on Monday. And then she called me up and asked, well, how do I get some of that, that Casa Serrano money? And I told her, I don't know.
Wow.
I think she had called them, or you'd think there'd be some outreach to the families. This is not inexpensive work. The law on this subject, the ability of migrants who are arrested to get bail, changes very, very rapidly.
Yeah.
You might as well read the chalkboard anymore.
So this is actually fascinating to me. So you've had people that were arrested by ICE at that location?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they're
not
legal?
the people, the people themselves are incarcerated, but the family hired me.
Yeah. I apologize. Family members say, hey, we need a good lawyer. So they reach out to you, right?
That's right.
And to be blunt, he's a really good lawyer. And to be further blunt, it's several $1,000s. And that's just for starters. Yes, sir?
Yes. In addition to that, they have to pay the bail. If you can get them the bail, and that's a bit of a legal work now. It's not a small matter of just saying, can I please have bail? Certain people aren't qualified at all. You have to argue about that, and then you have to argue about amount. But there's the lawyer, and then there's the actual bail that you have to pay, either in cash or with the bail bondsman.
So I'm fascinated. So I'm fascinated by this, Patrick. Yeah. So you how many of these folks have reached out to you or family members, sir?
Well, we had two of them originally that were going to hire us. The family couldn't get money together fast enough, even though there's this nominal charity for them.
That's amazing.
One of them's already been deported.
Oh.
And we were able to keep him here, and we're going to be, my appearance is in it, we're going to be doing a bail hearing. But this is not something to have leisurely fundraising. I mean, I appreciate the sentiment. I think it's very nice that the community is organizing to help each other in whatever way. But in a certain sense, Marty, and this might even be against my own interest. I mean, I'm aware I do this for a living. It's how I make money. But you brought up an interesting point earlier. We've got our own people.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to grab Patrick because he knows this stuff because we've done a bunch of this GoFundMe stuff. Historically, generally, my man, the rules, when you have money there, kind of a window of time. First of all, you got to close it out to get the money. Do you not, sir?
No, you don't have to close it. No, you can keep fundraising while they're doing disbursements.
And then how long does it generally take? Let's say you ask on a Monday, because we've done this. How long does it take to get that money?
If you've already been authenticated, it's not a big window. So
what do you mean?
So they've got to verify your bank account. If you've done a GoFundMe thing before where you've raised money, then you're already pre-verified. So if the owner who put this together has done any GoFundMes in the past, he could get the money within a couple of days.
A couple of days.
Yeah.
And so then what happens is Joseph Patrick Murphy gets these clients, and I would assume or presume, Joseph, that because they were arrested, because ICE did snag them, they would be on the list of people that should get that money from that fundraiser, sir. Would it not make sense?
Right. Presumably, there's a limited number. There's 16 people who've been arrested. We know all their names. Family members should be able to apply to this and get some sort of disbursement. It's not even clear who's running this GoFundMe. I'm not completely sure it's the owner of Emiliano's. I don't know if you have any information on that, Marty, but I hear there's some other agency. I don't know.
And so we're clear. So these folks who have reached out to you and need money to get bail and or representation, they can't get anyone and any money from this fund, and that's the money that's supposed to come to them as victims.
Well, I don't know. They haven't been able to. At least the one lady, she was coming on Monday. She called me Sunday night, and she wanted to know, what do I got to do to get this money? And I had to tell her, I don't know. I mean, we don't normally work with GoFundMe. With them, not that I wouldn't. I just don't know how to.
No, I get it.
But I told her we have to go to whatever. I think she had called maybe one of the managers at the store and asked if they knew anything. And got some story. We're hiring lawyers.
Wow.
But this is not something where you can, there needs to be rapid filing of appearance by lawyers. Otherwise, immigration's in there trying to get these people to sign a voluntary departure. They could be tricked into signing away rights. Once the lawyer's made an appearance, and you can file that directly with Homeland Security, there doesn't have to be a court case yet. You file with enforcement and removal. This person is represented by counsel. It becomes the old "don't talk to my client without me present" thing. But yet, and if it's not being done, they're going to start sweating some of these people, making them sit for long periods of time in some county detention, ostensibly waiting for space to open at immigration detention. And some of them regrettably do sign away rights, some of them even with cases that are defensible. Some of them are even qualified for status, like a green card, married to a citizen.
And you nailed it, too. Some of them could be deported before they ever get a nickel of this so-called money in this so-called fundraiser.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. And the longer you wait, the higher that likelihood happens. Like I said, these were two people that were arrested in the same raid.
That's amazing.
And one of them's already gone.
It's a hell of a story. It's also ignorant, and now I'm irritated. There is also the imagery that has irritated the hell of a lot of Americans and folks here.
Yes.
About the imagery that the owner of the restaurants has a G-Wagon, they're $175,000, and has a rather elaborate home. In essence, why the hell do they need this money if they're rich as it is? That's kind of the narrative, sir.
Indeed. I mean, look, I have similar things. I'm a lawyer in private practice.
Right.
I make an okay living, but I'm not out begging for money to defend my workers.
Yeah.
There becomes a situation where charity, implies need, and I'm not sure that that's there. But then again, and as I said earlier, I'm not completely sure it's the owner of Emiliano's who is holding the money, or where, I don't know where it's going, but it's not completely clear. There's been mention of some other some other organization involved in this, and I don't know. I mean, it's not a law firm. I don't know what it is, but.
I'm going to reach out. I know a bunch of people who were in the middle of this. I'm going to ask them where the hell's the show me the money, as the tidbit soundbite from the movie goes.
And more importantly, where does it go if all these people get deported?
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Right. Oh, well, it's only here to we raised all this money to defend these people, but we can't anymore. So then what happens to the money?
Wow.
Does it go to Pittsburgh Hispanic Development? Does it go to some other? I don't know where this money goes.
Joseph Patrick Murphy, nailed it, brother. It's important stuff. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. You're my man.
Thank you, Marty. Always a pleasure on your show.
Best attorney I know, best immigration lawyer I've ever met. He is what he's pointing out is really makes a lot of sense. It's ridiculous what's happening here.
It is.
From the PJ, wow.
Thanks, Marty.
You're a man. So the money's there. But the people could be gone and deported before they ever see a nickel. That is crap. Whether you think raising the money is a good idea or not is another debate another time, and I see where you're coming from. But they can't get access.